Alright, here we go, and welcome. Today we are going to go over Noah, Matthew 24 and 37. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. So what are we looking for? We really ain't looking for anything in particular. A lot of people are looking for revelations and the seals and the trumpets, and they've heard the trumpets and they heard the seals, and they're on the sixth seal, the fourth one, and all these things that are being said on social media and being put out there. But what does the Creator say about this? A wicked and adulterous generation searches for a sign, and no sign shall be given to them. Now, what does Noah mean? It's amazing that it's changed from the Hebrew H5146 to the Greek Noe. Isn't that amazing that they changed it, right? So we have to go back and see it's actually pronounced Noach, right? Noah, Noach. It's H5146. It means a rest. Now, isn't that amazing? Let's go over some scriptures. Matthew 24 and 38. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and giving, drinking, marrying, and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark. We see what's going on today. People are eating, drinking, giving in marriage, and doing the things they've always done. Now, what does that mean? Does it mean that we have nothing to look for? We're looking for a sign? What are we doing? Again, according to scriptures, we are not looking for a sign. We're not looking for, oh my gosh, the something's in the air. Oh my gosh. We stay steadfast with Yahweh. We're looking for Yahweh because every feast day we're looking to Yahweh. Every day we're looking and we're waking up and we're reading and we're praising Yahweh. If we don't change, whatever's going on in the world will not change us. If we change because baloney virus 90 sore, then guess what? We're wearing masks, we got biosuits on, we got on orange, we look like we just got kicked out of a UFO. Get it? If we're not careful, what are we doing? We're complying, we're conforming, we're changing to the world. But the scriptures does not say that we're supposed to change for this, right? Matthew 24 and 39. And knew not until the flood came and took them all away, so also shall the coming of the Son of Man be. Now what's going to happen? If we read Revelations and we're wise, we know what's going on, and we understand this is not a rapture. Let's read Matthew 24 and 10. Then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken, and the other left. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doeth come. Matthew 24 and 42. But know this, that if the goodman of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Matthew 24 and 43. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as you think not, the Son of Man cometh. Matthew 24 and 44. How many times have people been on a plane, afraid to death to fly, afraid of this, afraid of that, get on the plane, sit down in the plane, man, this ain't so bad, and it crashes. It blows up. Something happens, right? How many times have people sat in the car and thought, oh, well, I don't know what I was so worried about, and boom, car wreck. Oh, man, I'm just going on. I'm going to be home in 4 hours. Boom, blowout. Boom, engine goes up. All these things happen, right? If we're not careful, we're not looking for things. We know the world's the way the world is, and we don't get the whole picture. Because good old Pastor Wolfie has told us this is the way it is, and we get rid of the Old Testament, and we get rid of everything in the past, and we don't realize it's a picture of what? Redemption. It's a picture of salvation. It's a picture of we are going to be saved. And then we get told, oh my goodness, that was a rapture. Look, they're plucked up. If you read Revelations, the one that's getting carried away is not going to the rapture. See, that's the Pastor Wolfie. That's the world. That's the TV that tells you, oh, they get whisked away. They're blown away. They're come on now. Do you think that's the way? Do you see that in Scripture? Where have we ever seen anything like that? Moshe had to go through the Red Sea. He had to deal with Pharaoh. He had to deal with the people. He had to deal with it all. He didn't get to go camp out somewhere else and say, those people are all washed up. Those people are the murmuring, most complaining people. I'm putting my camp up here where I can't even hear them talk. Right? No, he had to live with them. He had to hear them. He had to talk with them. He had to go and hear what Yahweh had to say and bring it back to them. And then he had to walk them out of there. Can you imagine 40 years of his life? He had to watch those people die because of their murmur and complaining and disobedience. I want water. I want food. I want water. I want food. I want this. I want that. But if we're not careful, what do? We're doing the same things and we're not careful. Yahweh, forgive us. We do some of the same things that we see and hear in Scripture, and what do we do about it? Oh, that was them people. This is showing salvation. They were saved. The animals were saved. A family was saved. And understand that is grace and mercy because Yahweh repented that he made man. Think about that. We're in Genesis chapter 5. Chapter 5. Can you imagine? We ain't even in Exodus. We're in Genesis 5:29, and he called his name Noah, saying, this same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands because of the ground which Yahweh hath cursed. The land has been cursed because of man. Things have been cursed because of man. Man has killed man. And Lamech lived after he begat Noah 595 years and begat sons and daughters. So if we add all this up, how many years have gone by? Not that many. I mean, a lot as we're concerned is 100 years old and the way we live. But as the way they was living, 500, 800, 900 years, a lot of time has not gone by. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. But Noah found grace in the eyes of Yahweh. Genesis 6:8. He found the grace, right? How did he find it? Did he just say a prayer? Did he just say, oh, I'm sorry? How did he find it? Genesis 6:9. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with Elohim. The Bible don't give you freebies. It don't say what you ain't and you are and all. It says what it says. And it says Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations. And Noah begat 3 sons. We went over that, right? Shem, Ham, and Japheth, right? So what was his real name? C-H-A-M, calm. It's amazing it doesn't even, the pronunciations of things that we say are not even the way they pronounce them. We're so far removed from Scripture and the Word, it's amazing that he ever even hears us. If we really get down to it, it's amazing that he ever heard our prayer. Think about that. It's amazing that he would look down and give us grace and mercy and say, here's my name, here's my Sabbath, here's the way I want it to be, while we're still in Sunday church and thinking we got it all figured out and we're saved and sanctified. You see how this goes together? He was going to destroy the world because what? Let's just read it. Genesis 6 and 13. Imagine that. 6 and 13. How many commandments? 613. And God said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Thus did Noah according to all that God commanded him, so did he. Yahweh said to Noah, come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. And Noah did according to all that Yahweh commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. The washing away of the cursing, the sins, the violence, of all the things that we've seen come about. We think the world's bad, but if we read what was going on then, we know what was going on. And it's not going to be as Pastor Wolfie has told us, because Pastor Wolfie said, knock, 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 come and take this or die. Pastor Wolfie told us there's going to be a rapture. Pastor Wolfie has lied into us, beloved. And we have fell for it. We've been deceived because Pastor Wolfie would not lie to us. Him and his wife and his wholesome family could not lie to us, would they? Why would they? But in telling us the Old Testament, the law, the food, the menu, that everything was torn asunder and put up a new way, is exactly that. Pastor Wolfie's way. A whole different man-made doctrine. A whole different religion than what the Scriptures teaches. The Scripture teaches us if we walk perfect, Yahweh has salvation for us. No matter what the world is doing, if we walk perfect, if we are circumspect, if we are doing what He says, then we will have salvation. And that's the same thing in Revelations. It's the same thing all through Scripture. If we have done what He said and been obedient, He will provide salvation. And salvation comes through Yeshua. You see how easy it is, how it really is, but when the world changes it into a fairy tale, when they get rid of it, when they mix and match and do what they want, what happens? We get left with something that it's unrecognizable. The Creator's name, Yeshua, our salvation. There is no other name in which a man can be saved. They will say that. Pastor Wolfie has quoted this. People love those verses. But what's that name? Folks, it's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful scripture. It's really beautiful, especially amongst all the disobedience and the horribleness that's going on in the world. But we can have salvation, and not only did He save the people, He saved the animals. We have to be very careful when we go and we listen to another doctrine, because if we're not careful, we're going to get caught. And a lot of people, just like it says in Matthew 7:13, believe, many will say to me on that day, many. We don't want to be on the outside. We don't want to be beating on that boat and saying, oh, I want in. In this case, there ain't going to be no boat anyway. But they're still going to say what? I've cast out demons in your name. I did this in your name. I did that in your name. And He's going to say, depart from me, I never knew you. just as the same as what was happening then. They thought everything was fine. It was going great. They had it made, so to speak. We're not careful. We think today we have Alexa, we have Google, we have everything to tell us what's what. Alexa, tell me what temperature it is. Alexa, tell me about this. Do we ask about scriptures? Do we ask about Bible verses? Do we ask about anything that pertains to anything? Are we so consumed with what's going on with us? Luke 17:26. And as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives. Luke 17:27. They did eat, they drank, they married wives. They were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. Until the day he entered in, they thought everything was fine. It was going just grand. And the flood came and destroyed them all. We're not careful, folks. Oh, we have the vaccination. Oh, we have this. Oh, we have that. Don't let the world be your demise. Don't let the world and eating and drinking and thinking it's all clear now be the ending. Men will think it's okay. Men will tell you it's okay. Pastor Wolfie and his churchianity will tell you we got it all figured out. All we got to do is sit around and wait on this bump on the log. All we got to do is sit around and wait. Oh, if the water will go down. It'll be all fine. It just going to take a little time here. We'll be back in church before you know it. If you just do this for 14 days, 9 months, a year, I don't know. I don't know very good at math. Right? Confusion is not of Yahweh. Disobedience is not of Yahweh. This only adds up to one thing. And it's not being left behind. It's the same thing we see all through history. Disobedient being something we never should have been. Doing things we never should have been. We see from the towers to the water. We see the same things, right? That men are trying to do things that they never should have been doing. If we would just listen to Yahweh, everything's going to be fine. For us. Not the world. The world says peace and safety, and we know there's trouble. But He will take care of what He has created. If we do what we're told, if we obey His commandments, if we believe what was written in the beginning. So many people trying to say, oh, well, the law's done away with, this is done away with, and we can do away with all these things. And that's what happens. We forget. We lose it. We forget what's going on because it's done away with. It's more than a color book teaching. And I say unto you, make to yourselves friends of the mammon of unrighteousness, that when you fail, they may receive you into everlasting habitations. He that speaketh of himself seeketh his own glory, but he that seeketh his glory that sent him, the same is true, and no unrighteousness is in him. If we're not careful, people don't think they have to look for righteousness. They think it's all accounted to them from the Messiah. They think they have to raise their hand. They think they have to believe in John 3:16. They don't understand what the stories are about. They don't understand from the beginning it's about obedience. Obedience is better than sacrifice. It's better than the blood of bulls and animals. Obedience. Because with obedience, you don't need those things. If we would just obey, we don't have to worry about the consequences. If we just obey, if we would have obeyed in the garden, if we would have obeyed in Noah's time, if we would have obeyed in the time of Elijah, if we would obey in the time of Moshe. All these are directly reaping, sowing processes. Why did they kill each other? Why did they get kicked out of the garden? Why did they have to build the ark? Why did they have to go through the wilderness? The disobedience led them to, you reap what you sow. You disobey, you have to pay for it. We do not want to be the generation that is so disobedient the whole world has to pay for it. Let's make things right. Let's do things right. Let's get back to scriptures. And if you believe in the scriptures, if you even call yourself a Christian, a Sabbath keeper, the way Hebrew roots any of this, read the scriptures and understand the Sabbath is the key. Yahweh is the creator. Without Yeshua, how do we have salvation? How can we obtain salvation without Yahweh and His Son Yeshua? So let's read these scriptures, let's study, let's find out that it's so in the days of Noah. They didn't think they was obviously doing that much wrong. They thought everything was peachy keen. The creation just happened not too long ago. Right? We're in Genesis 7. The world has just begun. The technology is just happening. Wait until I get a robot that can do my work. Wait until I get... We're not careful. We have to always be on guard. We always have to be on watch because the enemy's always trying to take over, tear down, and cause chaos. So let's read those scriptures. Let's read Genesis, Exodus, those beginnings that tells us our foundation of what we did wrong and keep us from doing those wrongs. And let's understand those was real people instead of just, oh, well, that was a story. It's not a story. It's people's lives. And it's Yahweh and what He did to them. So again, let us not be the generations that causes these things. And if we are amongst them generations, let us be the ones that are counted righteous and worthy and perfect. And if you don't think you're perfect and you can't call yourself perfect, then you need to hit your knees and talk to the Creator and pray. Father Yahweh, hallowed be Thy name. And talk to Him. And tell Him what you need. And if you need anything from us, if you want to know more about this, let us know. We'll go over it. Till next time, thank you for watching, for listening. May Yahweh bless you. May His countenance shine upon you, and may He grant you shalom. Shalom, everybody. Thank you very much for listening, for watching. Have a great and wonderful day, evening, however it may pertain to you. Until next time, Yahweh bless, shalom, and have a great and wonderful day.